today. Right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Listen, I know you guys, I know we got a smart group of people here. You're going to tell me about some wonderful services. Can I tell you just the one thing that I'm looking for?
Definitely, sure.
Good. When you guys walk out of here in the next few minutes, I want to be convinced that you're the one team that I can trust for this part of the business. That's all I care about. Everybody can bring the skills and the services to the table. I want to know that I can trust you going forward with this part of my business. Fair?
Definitely.
Good. All right, so I'm going to sit down and be quiet.
All right. Well, Neil, here is our proposal, formal proposal response. That's more detailed. You don't need to really look at that just now. We're going to keep it high level for you, go over the high points of that.
All right.
My name is Chris Hart. I am the head audit partner for the Seattle office of Grant Thornton.
All right.
And I would be the lead engagement partner if we were to win this engagement with Amigo, which we're definitely looking forward to. First and foremost, we want to say thank you for even entertaining us as a potential option to be your auditor. We see great things going forward for Amigo, and we think you have the potential to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest player in this market. So we think this company is great, and we would love. I would hope so. I would certainly hope so. And we would love to have the opportunity to grow with you.
Okay.
We truly believe in a family environment, and we think that you're getting great service from Martin and Knight, and we don't want to change much of what they're doing, just offer you more of a global type approach to it, since we have a little bit more resources than they might have.
Okay.
From your RFP that you sent out, the type of concerns that we really saw dealt with international as well as IT systems type things, and as you mentioned, trust is a big thing that you're looking for. Yeah. And like I said, we like that family type atmosphere. So here today, we have, to address your IT type issues, we have Sarah Spires.
Hi.
She is a manager from the San Francisco office. She knows a lot about IT systems and everything that goes along with that, so she can definitely be an asset for you.
Okay.
To represent more of an international approach and IFRS type compliance, we have Kathy Sun.
Hi, Neil.
She's from the Beijing office, and she's on loan to the Seattle office for about 5 years, so she's definitely going to be an asset. Rounding out the team, we actually have 2 Wake alum, so
All
we
right.
have some connection there. Madison Williams is a tax partner in the Seattle office. She also did a trip to Mumbai, so she knows your that area of your business, as you have an office there. And lastly, we have Team 2Eckert. He's a senior associate, and he would lead the team on the ground if we were to win the engagement. He's had IPO experience before, so we know that's on the forefront of your thoughts.
Good.
So definitely an asset as well. So why don't we get down to it? Sarah, why don't you start talking about IT for Neil?
Sounds great. First off, thanks again for having us here today. We appreciate the time you've taken, and we're really excited about this great opportunity. And now, Amigo is competing in a highly competitive industry, and it thrives on the fast pace of technological change. And it's important to stay on that cutting edge and one step ahead of your competitor. And myself, along with my IT and security team, can help you do just that. We have the knowledge and the experience. First off, we know that security is a huge issue when dealing with information technology. We have the advanced techniques needed to keep your data and your systems at the highest level of confidentiality. And also, as you continue to grow nationally and internationally, there are some things to consider. Some new technology might be needed, and a smooth integration into Amigo's existing processes is crucial. We will be with you now and in the future to make sure that each new change adds value to Amigo right off the bat. And also, as you change and become more global, your overall business strategy may change, which means your information systems needs to change as well. We have the eye to assess your systems and make sure that they are aligned with your strategy, and that with each new change you make, you have the most efficient and the most effective processes in place. And we will be with you starting here all the way into as much as you grow in the future.
Sarah, one of the things that really concerns me is all this customer data that we're beginning to collect now.
Oh yes, and going international, it's very important. You'll have people accessing that data from different countries, so much harder to make sure you know no one's accessing it who's not authorized. We have those advanced techniques and systems in place to make sure that authorization is required to access that data we've been discussing. And also we have the internet regulations in all countries. We have that down, so no trouble when you're working at a global level.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Sarah. Neil, I hope that was helpful in that area. Kathy, why don't you talk to Neil about more IFRS compliance type issues?
Yes, sure. Hey Neil, actually, We all know that Amigo develops really fast in these years, so we recognize that your firm might need the expertise in both US GAAP and IFRS. And at Grant Thornton, we have an IFRS expertise team based in the US, and we provide a lot of training for them. Actually, Keith and I just came back from an IFRS training session held in the Chicago office last week, right, Keith?
Yes, Kathy and I really furthered our knowledge of IFRS, and it was certainly a value-added experience.
Good.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And also, besides the team based in the US, the consultants, professionals in Hong Kong and China will also be part of our IFRS global group. And during the past few years, we got plenty of experience working together and help our US clients with IFRS conversion. And for Amigo, we know that you have an office location in Hong Kong. So, just example, there is any issue like tax compliance or there is any issue like IFRS reporting, the Hong Kong team will cooperate with us and help you solve the problem together. So basically, at Grant Thornton, we work as a whole global team, and we commit to provide the best IFRS service for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks.
Staying on the same hand almost, we're going to have Madison talk to you about some international tax compliance in those issues.
Right, so Grant Thornton could offer you global tax compliance services. Our U.S. firm has great relationships with our member firms around the globe, and we also have great relationships with the taxing authorities in various countries, including in Hong Kong, Mumbai in India, and Santiago, Chile, as well as anywhere else you may open up shop in the future. And at Grant Thornton, we're really excited to work for you, and one issue we could potentially see for you already is transfer pricing of intellectual property. So we've seen issues with this in India and China in recent years, and as you have operations in Mumbai and Hong Kong, and as a technology company, intellectual property like the 3D hologram, we really want to make sure we keep you in good standing with the IRS as well as any other international taxing authorities.
Okay. So do you feel like the IRS here in our country fully understands our business and our industry?
I don't think they fully understand it, but I think that they have their goals and you have your goals, and our job at Grant Thornton is to align those goals and make sure you stay in good standing with them and they can still get done what they need to get done.
I just want to make sure, and I know you or any firm would really work to keep our taxes low, but I want to make sure there's nothing that would be done that would cause them to come back 3 years from now.
No, we're dedicated to making sure you stay in good standing, and so we do things right the first time so they don't have to come back and bother you later.
Okay. Good.
Definitely don't have to worry about that.
Good.
Changing topics slightly, Keith, why don't we talk about the potential IPO, since we know, Neil, that you have going public on the 4th.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to. So Neil, we're well aware that Amigo wants to go public. What I can bring
Potentially.
What I can bring to the table is my expertise with Facebook. I was on their internal audit team for several years before they initially did their public offering. So I can bring expertise about how you're going to cost your IPO, also the expenses associated with an IPO, and also the timing. The timing is crucial. So what we can do is create a 16-week timeline, and we can increase weeks or decrease weeks and tailor it specifically for Amigo's needs, just for you, and change variables as exactly what Amigo wants. And obviously there's SOX requirements, so what that entails is filing requirements, and there's costs associated with that. So I would work with you on a day-to-day basis as the lead senior associate and make the best IPO you can possibly have.
What's the biggest mistake or stumbling block that you see with companies that do IPOs?
I think, in my opinion, I've seen with Zynga and Facebook, they overprice their IPO. So what I would do for Amigo is avoid that. Obviously, that can make investors very upset. So in Amigo's best interest, we would work with you to avoid that.
As you can see, we're very happy to have stolen Keith from Facebook's staff. He's definitely an asset for us. Lastly, why don't we head back to you, Madison, talk about more general tax compliance.
Okay.
So we would offer you kind of the standard set of tax services. The tax provision work is part of the audit, tax planning, tax compliance, but like you said earlier, any firm can kind of give you that. Something I'm really excited about and something I think sets Grant Thornton apart is we have this Tax Symphony software system, and there's a more detailed outline of that in the proposal, but to keep it high level, for this meeting. It's basically an interactive workspace where Amigo could see pending document requests from us, as well as any upcoming deadlines and deliverables. And at Grant Thornton, we've really found that this helps us keep our work to the highest quality, on time, and on budget, which I'm sure Amigo would love.
Yeah.
And then another tax service we have is loan staffing. So I'm not aware of the size of your tax department, but loan staffing would enable your tax employees to focus on more important matters such as tax planning, tax structuring if you were to go through an IPO, and Grant Thornton would loan staff to you to do some of the more mundane compliance tasks such as filing returns. And like we've expressed already, we're really excited to potentially work with Amigo. We've already been thinking of things that could benefit you, and one great tax planning opportunity we see is R&D tax credits. You've invested all this time and money in your 3D hologram technology, which we think will be very profitable as far as revenues, but it's also a great avenue to lower that tax liability for the tax credits.
Okay, good.
While we're talking about the 3D technology, Keith, why don't you tell Neil about our confidentiality
Sure.
policy?
So obviously you have this new 3D technology in your development, and we realize that that can be a competitive advantage in your industry. So your trust is of the utmost importance. So what we want to make sure that you know is that confidentiality on a day-to-day basis is the biggest concern for us here at Amigo.
So let me ask you, strong team of people here. Can y'all do it all for me? Tax, audit, consulting?
We can do that so long as you don't initially, before you go public potentially. If you were to go public, there are restrictions on what we would be able to do. One of these, as told by Sarbanes-Oxley in 2002, that was passed by Congress, would be the audit partner rotation, so that is me. The requirement says that after 5 years on the engagement, I would have to rotate off. What that doesn't mean is that the entire engagement team would have to rotate off.